Good morning. Happy Wednesday and happy snow day. I'm going to give you a little view out my window. It's coming down. Doesn't seem to be sticking to the roads here, but I know further north of here it's crazy. Anyway, welcome to the Daily Dose of Success God's Way. I'm Erin Harrigan, your Hustle with Heart coach and your Healthy Living coach with Arvon. And I would show you my shake, but I already drank it. Good morning, Consuela. Buenos dias, I should say. I am super excited to be coming to you guys today. So if you're new to Success God's Way or our daily dose, this is our daily quick Facebook Live on the subject of pursuing success God's way, particularly for God-centered entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who really want to pursue success God's way, but that's kind of flying in the face of what they've been taught by the world of what success means. So I've been coming to you for the last couple of weeks out of this Experiencing Success God's Way by Dr. Charles Stanley. And the chapter that we're in is talking about pursuing God's goals. We've talked about setting God's goals, but now we're talking about pursuing them. And I have 2 points for you today. The first is there's no delay in pursuing an immediate goal. And the second is another very important C word, I guess you could see it that way, consistency. So we've been really digging into the story of David and Goliath from the book of 1 Samuel in the Bible regarding this idea of pursuing God's goals. And what I love about what I've been called to do as the Hustle with Heart coach, helping entrepreneurs align results to God's truth, is that I get to use the best personal development book there is to really underpin and provide the foundation for these lessons around success God's way. And again, as I think I've shared with you before, I don't make this stuff up. I mean, I follow along with, a Bible study that I'm doing or the daily devotions that I'm doing to share these ideas with you guys. And it's all founded in Scripture. And so that's so important because it's not one person said this or one person said that or this contradicts that or I read this book, but it says something different here. It's all here and we all have access to this book. So I love that. So this is a really quick one. There's no delay in pursuing an immediate goal. David did not procrastinate, make excuses, or stall. He took action. And if you read the story, you'll see that the Israelites were shrinking back in fear. No one was standing up to this giant Philistine Goliath. But David was like, I'm not procrastinating. I'm going into battle. Let's do this. And it's because he had the confidence of the Lord that this was the Lord's battle. And so my question for you is, where are you stalling in taking action? Now, I know sometimes that as a God-centered entrepreneur and pursuing success God's way, you might be a little confused on what that action looks like because you're like, okay, I've been taught that I need to reach out to 100 people, or if I do 3 asks a day, or if I talk to 10 people, then generally, good morning, Alice. It's great to see you. If I talk to 10 people, then I might get 3 people who say yes. And then one of those people will join my business or be my client or whatever that looks like. And we all know the math. But what I'm here to tell you is that when you're pursuing success God's way as a God-centered entrepreneur, action looks a little different. I'm not denying the math. Please hear me. I am not denying that. I'm not telling you not to do that. But what I'm telling you is action from a godly perspective is very intentional. It involves prayer. It involves understanding, Lord, who are you calling me to talk to today? But the point is to not delay and to not procrastinate. And if you're having issues with that procrastination, then I just would recommend that you get into the Word and you ask the Lord to show you what that action should look like. And it may be that someone's name pops into your mind, or you get an email, or you get a Facebook message, or whatever. But take action, guys. Take the action and let God be in charge of the income. We hear this all the time as entrepreneurs. Get attached to the activity or the action, not the outcome. But we tend to get attached to the results and the outcome. And you got to let God be in charge of that, guys. You got to let God be in charge of that, because only God can move the hearts around you. Your job is to share the message. His job is to take care of what happens next. Guys, I don't care how powerful or how great your verbiage is. We are not powerful enough to move the hearts. We're not. And we're not here to do that and persuade and convince and that kind of thing. We're just here to share the information, but you got to take action to do that. And then the second thing is consistency. So David did not lose sight of the big goal, which his big goal was ultimately to serve God as the king of Israel. Remember, David had already been tapped as the future king. So he didn't lose sight of that goal, but all of these pieces in his story were leading him and preparing him to achieve that goal. So he was consistent in what he was doing. And what I mean by that is that he already knew that he needed to be reminded consistently that God was bigger than any problem that he faced. And he knew that the Israelites were going to need to be encouraged to trust the Lord more. So not losing sight of your long-range goals, even as you throw your energy in accomplishing short-term or immediate goals, is important. Here it says, Paul encouraged Titus that believers are to maintain good works even as they meet urgent needs. And this is in Titus 3, verse 14. So to get caught up in the urgent needs and fail to maintain the overall good works of our life is to be unfruitful. So it's maintaining consistent behavior and action daily. And I'm going to tell you, again, the number one consistent behavior you can have, good morning, Siri, is to be in the Word, guys, to spend that time with Him. I talked to you yesterday about that great meditation app. I was just listening to it this morning. It's fantastic. But that consistency breeds confidence, which breeds consistency. So let me tell you what I mean by that. When you do something consistently, day in, day out, you keep a promise to yourself. You keep a commitment. That commitment grows your confidence to be consistent elsewhere. So if you don't think that being in the Word every day, being in prayer every day, taking that few minutes, or however much time you have at the beginning of a day to start on your knees in prayer in the Word, if you don't think that that is the most important action that you can take as a God-centered entrepreneur, I just want you to marinate on that today, because that is the most important consistent action that you can take to build a God-centered business that honors Him and serves His people, and to pursue success God's way. So how will you be consistent today? And if consistency is something that you struggle with, post that here, or get on over to our Success God's Way community and post there. You know, I struggle with consistency. How can I be better at this? I feel like I'm busy. I hit the ground running as soon as my feet hit the floor when I get out of bed in the morning. How can I build consistency in the Word into my schedule? And you will find that community will provide encouraging feedback for you. All right. So being consistent in pursuing your goal and not losing sight of your long-term goal while you're pursuing daily activity, and then not delaying or procrastinating in pursuing God's goals. Guys, He gave you these goals for a purpose. Let's go out and live the life worthy of our calling. So I hope you find that helpful today. So I have 3 action items for you. As always, comment below, tag your friends if you feel like they could benefit from our daily dose. Number 2, get on over to our Success God's Way. Join our encouraging community of like-minded God-centered entrepreneurs. And today is Welcome Wednesday, so I'm going to be doing our little welcome message shortly. And then lastly, again, if there's anyone you know, even yourself, that could benefit from some hand-holding through this process, or refocusing on what Success God's Way means and how to align your results with God's truth, I am the Hustle with Heart coach, and I'd love to have a conversation with you or your friend to see if I can support them. So that's the daily dose for today. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Be safe in the snow and ice for those of you who are experiencing that today, and I'll see you tomorrow.